Hi, this is Swan with Swan Amity Studios, and we are continuing to stitch out all of the decorative stitches on the B-77 Bernette. Today's video, we are starting with stitch number 137. And let's get started. This one is another side-to-side stitch. So we're watching to make sure that we're staying centered on the foot. Now this one doesn't do the same kind of movement that we've seen on some of our most recent videos. We're just moving forward into the machine, which makes it a little easier to pay attention to. This one also stitches out nice and quickly. So I didn't have to give that much thought at all. We're going to go ahead and break thread there and take a peek at what we have. That looks like a lovely little delicate flower blossom, and we've added that on a strand in a zigzag. Now, once again, I can see some really great uses for that. It has a delicacy to it, so I might be thinking about using that maybe on a baby's project. I think that would be great. This one, when we get started, generally is going to start somewhat towards the middle, but a little to the left. So I'm going to use that tilde again and say a little to the left, and there's our default D to show us that this was the original size. We're going to skip over right away to stitch 138, and this one is kind of an open leaf shape. I might think about it a little bit like a fern. We'll go ahead and drop our presser foot in there and make sure that we're lined up with the center of our foot. And let's go ahead and drop our needle. This one is starting to the far right. Now, because this one is going to move from the far right all the way to the far left and then back again, once again we're paying attention to just keeping everything aligned on our little guideline. But like the last one, it's not giving us too much back and forth. It's mostly just moving through the machine straightforward. Little jump here and there. So I'm paying a little bit more attention than I was with the previous one. And this one is a little bit more action in the machine. So whereas the one that we were just doing at the beginning of this video stitches out very quickly, this one's going to take just a little more time. Now that's something to be thinking about with your projects too. How much time are you investing, and what is the purpose of your project? Sometimes you're willing to put in as much effort as it takes, no matter how much effort that is or how much time investment that is. But it's also nice to know how long some of your decorative stitches are going to take before you start using them and realize it's going to be all day. Now I really like how these lovely little leafy ferns work out. I think they're gorgeous. And I would really want to see those in a variegated thread. Can you imagine that? I know I am. Now this is 138. We noticed that this one started to the far right, and this is the default stitch. We'll go ahead and jump to 139 real quickly, and we're going to see a variation on 138 when we take a look at 139 and how it works out. Once again, we're bringing our presser foot down. Just going to make sure that my guideline is landing right in the center before I needle down, and let's roll. Now this one is going to give me a slightly bigger design from base to tip, and I do really like how this one is stitching out already. Really nice, and it moves through the machine really smoothly. We're keeping that nice straight line going right through the center. And because this is a variation on what we were doing before, instead of producing 2 of these each time, it's giving us just kind of one big one with a little bit of curvature in it. So I'm seeing if you wanted something just a little straighter than what we were working with over here, this one might be exactly the right thing for you. And as I'm watching this stitch out, I'm really thinking about adding it to a wearable. I think this would be really nice on a cuff, or maybe even on the edge of a pocket. Let's stop there. And yes, exactly right. I think that would be really nice as an edge piece. That's looking beautiful. I love how that's stitched out. And once again, I would consider that with a variegated thread. Maybe even a rayon. We're working with cotton here. It's a cotton with a nice sheen on it from Wonderfill. I really enjoy this particular thread. However, if you were looking for something just a little bit brighter, whoops, that is not where that started. This started on the left-hand side, didn't it? And this is our default stitch. Now, with this one, I really am thinking about how much fun that would be in a thread that catches a little more light. So if you're looking for something I think would work great with a rayon or a polyester, a little more luster in it, I think that would be perfect for this. Thank you for joining me as we stitched 137, 138, and 139, and we did it all with a smile.